happen in an official. Therefore, they are going to be effective because they have individually good players.
Absolutely, it's great players as well. And as you can see, you do have a couple of players on Vex now. Trying to fake out that B just to make him... He's going to take from A, but lucky for Aussie. It's taken out straight away by Hype, but I think they realised now that Vex really trying to push that A site, but sadly for them, Vanity gets 2 of his own straight off the bat. As he pushes through A site, gets that bomb down, and Vex is still a man up.
Oh, 3 versus 1. Hype now into the clutch as Quicks. First victim, Truth, second as well as it comes all down to the aforementioned Pickles, as he has to be forced into the peak as the bomb isn't planted for him as well. He comes in, Pickles now knows he's off the bomb, as the tap does commence. Pickles now trying to isolate Hype. Has he come off the bomb? Has he not? Is he going to win the duel? Eventually he will. 1-0, as Hype nearly has the Cinderella 1 versus 3, but the fairy tale doesn't quite go in his favor.
That is a shame indeed. It was living up to the hype to begin with, but that defuse, Pickles knew exactly what was going on. I managed to get that important pistol round for Vex, so now we're going to see exactly what's going to happen in a moment. So we've got 2 AKs for Vexed, with 3 Mac 10s with decent utility in a moment. And we'll have Royals just waiting patiently just to try and find any information from where any members of the Vex players are coming from at the moment.
Bomb in towards the apartments here from Vex, as it seems like they are poised to go for the fast B split here via short and the aforementioned B apartments. Hype in towards CPL, maybe hearing the footsteps from Quicks up towards short, as now he can make his time to pounce on the behind, but no, he's let them come up towards short. Now going to be having the perfect time frag onto Quicks. And in the meantime, Capers goes 1 for 1 towards the B site. Man advantage currently in the hands of Royals, but can they keep hold of it?
And now you can remember they had 2 AKs and 3 Mac 10s, so... And as you can see, Hype has got 1 of the AKs already, and then sadly for Truth, it's going to be a real struggle here. He's trying to bail out the bomb, but sadly, it's not going to work at all, and sadly for him, Truth does get taken down, so... And you've got to remember, they gave up those 2 AKs to begin with, so now Royals in a pretty good spot at the moment.
Oh, of course. Whenever you win that force buy, you're the ones now the weaponry, you're the ones now the momentum, and your opposition have to go for the counter force. So if they win this round versus the Pistols, which on paper they should, they can get off to the good start now on their CT side. As Grande staying on to the Deagle, going to be missing the first shot, but spots out the flood of players towards top middle from Vexed as they charge up towards Connector, trying to get into close vicinity with those CZs.
And 2 of the members on Vex are already on the site, but Quicks managed to push straight through. Truth with the first frag, and then I take out Pickles, but already 4 members of Vex are down. And Vanity's just finding this time at the moment. Bomb is down on in mid, but sadly does get taken out by Hype. So it was a shame, but like they were trying to get something going with A, but it just wasn't to be by them.
2-1 as we go into the 4th. Shower with a Falico now from Vexed. They lost versus the force buy of Royals, tried to win their own force buy for themselves, and they fell short. Now the main goal into this one is to try and get that bomb planted. Quick's going to be going in towards Palace, trying to hope and pray that Vex can sell a fake towards mid as 4 players, as we're speaking on the desk before the game went live. And here it is, 4 players towards top mid. Quick's on his lonesome towards the other half of the map, trying to see if he can have effective play. But read like a book, Dom, well, he's called Soulcast here. His real handle is Dom. But obviously players like to be edgy and like to be different and spice things up.
Like to be annoying for us, you know.
Exactly.
It's just understandable now. We're used to it. You all change your aliases. Fair enough. And talking about that, obviously that last round, it was a great nade.
Oh yeah,
from
towards
mid.
top mid.
And then obviously, even before that round even began, Hype was going 9-1, still 9-1 at the moment. And he's had a fantastic start so far.
Pushing aggressively towards apartments. Pickles trying his best to isolate the single frag onto Hype. He has gone for the reload, but he's used it to try and bait in the peak from Pickle, so it's worked out fairly well for him so far, as the smoke from Capers doesn't quite go deep enough. So once eventually it does fade, the next frag to set up the rest of the round should come through.
And Pickles is waiting very patient in the moment, just trying to hear exactly what's going on. Does see something, but Hype does take him out first. And Quicks is in that connector, is waiting for Guano to make a move, but it seems like now the bomb will be rotating from T to A side. So that will be their plan of action. And you have got 3 members of Royals on the A side, and they do get another pick with a 2-man advantage. And it's going to look very difficult considering the good crossfire they've got.
3 players stationed towards the A site from Royals. They have the 2-man advantage. Additionally, they have the players positioned in the right places. This is a round surely for Royals as it all comes up blue. Soulcast, Angry, Grande. Some strange names, to be fair.
It is very strange at the moment. I'm not going to lie at all. I completely agree with you.
Make it 4-1 as we head into the 6th. Once again, going to be onto a fairly weak buy here from Vexed. And, well, Royals looking good individually. 10-1 for Hype on the scoreboard.
Bringing that Hype at the moment, mate, isn't he? He ain't mucking about so far.
So.
And I was going to mention as well, Aussie hasn't got a frag on the board at the moment, but still early days, still going into the 6th round.
Once again, 4 players towards one half of the map. Quicks alone. This time it's towards middle, as he might try and have the lurk up towards short. The frag goes in favour of Grande, as now the footsteps come in towards the B side from Vex, but they're walking into the crosshair and the Kalashnikov of the poor sprayed out from Capers. This is 3 versus 3. Life now into the round here for Vexed.
That poor spray definitely cost him there and let him get almost free roam of B, but still got Hype, still trying to cause enough distraction to not have the bomb advantage. But managed to get one, but Truth for a really crucial trade there. And then Vex get that second, and I'll put it an important round on the board.
Wow. Royals, if they want a chance for the upset, they cannot let rounds like that slip away. Missed shots from a few of the players as they tried to come in towards the B site. Capers with the spray. Angry with the AWP as well on towards short. Missing crucial shots, allowing for Vexed to claim their second. As we go into a crucial buy round here. If Vex win this one, they can reset the money for Royals, but conversely the same is said for the CTs. As Grande through the smoke connects the shots onto Ozzy. Soulcast as well, the AWP lights things up towards A, as he may get a second as well as the timing, not quite in his favour. The flick as well doesn't connect. Still a chance if for Vexed.
That timing was a massive pain, sadly for him. Just barely looked away, but as you can see, Vexed will be trying to make that approach on A site, but both extremely weak at the moment, 37 and 17 HP. And Royals now, I think they've got plenty of information to know that it will be coming from the A site. As you can see, Hype will be flanking around from that T spawn. Whilst Capers and Soulcast are going to try and delay as much as they can whilst he does get round. Still doable, but it's looking very difficult for Vexed right now.
And this is what they were waiting for. The flank from behind. The insurance policy to secure the round in the favour of Royals. As from the rear, it's Hype to spot one, to spot the second as well. It's going to be 5-2. Reset territory now for Vexed as they're going to look at their bank balance and say, my goodness, I need an overdraft.
Absolutely, and as you can see now, it's a shame because Vex literally gave him that round. I know they had no smokes to begin with, and they've just been patient, changing the tempo. I think maybe more to the fact that hoping that it would make Royals actually rotate, but the discipline, and they had more than enough information to know that Vex were going to execute that A site. So, well played with the patience from Royals at the moment, and as you can see, it's not the greatest buy for Vex. And Grande pushes through from short, manages to get one, but sadly for him, Truth does get that trade. And as you can see now, Angry does find Quicks.
Gosh, the individual skill, yeah, sorry to interrupt, but the individual skill on these players is definitely very different to what we saw on Pat's Money Crew and some of the players as well from Endpoint last game. Actually watching Angry warm up at the ESL Prem Finals in the last season, he was just playing this weird like aimbot cycle of practicing flicks for hours and hours, basically himself arthritis. But I mean, it pays off. That's why he's got this really snappy, almost shaky like aim, because it is so tense, it is so stiff. But anyway, Aussie lights up the B-bomb, so with 2 headshots that can grant the round now for Vexed. All comes down to the young, arguably prodigy, onto Royals Dom. As he's got it within himself to win this one. Defuse kit for utility in his domain. The question is victory in his name?
As you can see, Solkaz is going to try and play for this one. I know exactly where he is, does 42 damage to him with HE, and Vex do have a decent crossfire going, and I think he knows this, so he is going to pull back. Has some utility in M4 to save, now Norp. And going back as well, he's talking about Quix's individual skill and his aim just as a whole. I think what complements that is, I think this is his 3rd season in the Prem.
It is.
So
yeah.
he's obviously very comfortable with the scene in the Premiership as a whole. And that's why he can actually convert from what he does in scrims and online to these matches.
Yeah, that's a good point you bring that up, actually. That was my first ever... Gosh, yeah. That was my first ever Prem. I've been casting for a few weeks when I did that one, I think. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. Last year, actually. I think it was last April. Yeah, because there was 2 seasons last season. And then obviously that was the 3rd, so it would have been last year. But anyway.
I see you've got a good long-term memory as well then.
Short-term memory though, oof, goes out the window. Anyway, Dom missing the first shot, managed to get the second as he goes 1-for-1 with Vex towards ramp, but concedes the defense now towards the A site as his pickles just to pick away at the players from Royals.
Like what you did there.
Easy stuff, mate.
Easy stuff, definitely. And Vex do get a bomb planted, but they're obviously what they can do. But Pickles and Quicks must get one of their own, and Hype gets finished off. So far wasn't looking too good for Vex to begin with. They were down 4-1, but they are starting to potentially equalise soon at the moment. And again, going back to Hype, 15-4. Oof, when it's only the 10th round. And I think that's Capers now. Only going 1-5, and he's still got a lot to play for. But, you know, it's still early days. It's still the first half, so he's got plenty of time to get into the swing of things.
It's different roles as well. Capers is the IGL. He's not brought into the roster to be that pure firepower to get the frags on the scoreboard. So... Quicks, caught off guard. Ooh, still manages to land the headshot though as the smoke does fade onto Grande. So the 5 vs 4 now in the favour of Vex, as it is the eco from Royals, so we are going to be expecting Royals to concede this round. Especially now as it is 2 players going down for the CTs. 5 vs 3. Minute 10 seconds left on the clock here. As it all comes down to Hype and Capers.
And as you saw from there as well, Royals did beat We Hot earlier, so they really are trying to carry on with that momentum and bring it to Vex, which they have done so far, but looking at now, the T side of Vex wasn't looking too good to begin with, but now it's a completely different story. But it's looking very unlikely. He's just trying to get at least a frag or something going just to be a bit of a pain, but gets taken out nice and easily, and as you can see now, it's all tied up.
Round number 11. 5 rifle buy from both teams here. Quite unorthodox. Usually we see a team save that AWP. However, Quicks was a rifler before joining this team and being forced onto the op, so it makes sense to see no AWP in his hands. And for Royals, there isn't a significant, dominant AWP player like they had last season. So, once again, the 5 rifle setup for both teams is expected. And as they're flooding towards the A site, the crossfire towards jungle and towards the A site from Grande and Solcats already pays back his dividends to make it 3 frags found. As is the 4. Ooh, nearly the 4 versus 1. Vanity still alive and kicking somehow.
That was such a shame for Aussie as well, considering he was looking jungle as he was pushing in, but got a bit distracted from the A side. But at the moment, we've got 1v1 between Angry and Pickles, but he's just trying to see if he's still behind there, but he is trying to delay things as much as possible. Maybe catch Pickles off guard, but I don't think as you realise he's coming from his left side and manages to easily pick him off. So I think Angry is just trying to delay things as much as possible to try and catch Pickles off, but it seems like there, Pickles knew exactly what he was up to and decided to take that 50-50 risk going from his right side, so that was well played by him.
Six to 5. As now it's going to be the quasi-buy from Royals. 4 sets of Kevlar here for the CT side, and Hype just going to be onto the Desert Eagle, no armor. Pickles as well with the passive angle, expecting the push here from the CT side as Quicks does as well. This time towards Palace, also towards B Apartments. As it goes in a flurry of frags in favour of Vexed so far. Aussie in towards jungle, making this one a 1 versus 5. All down to Capers here, trying to see if he gets some more kills on the scoreboard to get some more confidence going into the second half. But Vexed, a team that doesn't wince under pressure. They were down 5-2, as now they see themselves with a 2-round advantage.
And you saw earlier as well, I spoke about Pickles didn't have a great match last week, but look at him going now 13-6. He's definitely changed things up a bit and has really proven himself again. Still Hype, still going 15-7 at the moment. And what do you feel Vexed have changed in their gameplay to kind of not make this comeback, but at least equalise things and then overtake Roars?
I think teamwork's a big one. Obviously, they are losing players early, 3 versus 5s or 4 versus 5s, and they're still always able to cut back into the matchups and into the rounds with their good team play and the Arthur plants. Also, they're flashing for each other well, as we saw in that last round. So, 4 versus 3. Quick somehow, someway has managed to slither his way in towards Connector and get this forward position in towards jungle. But it's the flank from Grande that could be detrimental here for Vexed.
And we just had an update as well that Pat's Money Crew actually beat Radix.
What?
Just now. So I think that makes Radix 0-4.
It does.
I know my maths. So yeah, it's again, that losing streak is still continuing on. But practice game at the moment, Grant, they've done such a good job trying to hold us off, being really patient, waiting for Quicks to potentially peek out now. And Sally Freeman just manages to get it, but sadly he can't make that defuse. That was well played, but Quicks managed to delay the bomb enough to get it done. So well played by Vexed in that round.
Yeah, very good round called by Vexed. They play aggressive towards middle. They know that Hype is playing in towards Connector some rounds. Aussie's asked for the flashbang. Aussie's charged in. Hype's blind, tries to fall back towards Connector. And Aussie catches him, trying to fleet away. 8-5, and this does mean, as a bare minimum, Vexed have secured the win on their T half after being down, as we mentioned earlier, 5-2. The best scoreline Royals can ask for is 7-8. So, aggression once again from Pickles in towards the B Apartments. His confidence definitely showing in a reflection of his play. The smoke as well out towards A ramp as Truth tries to use the smoke to shroud his peak. Instead, though, it's Pickles. 2 frags towards the B site, as the B site is completely in the domain now. Big old Pickles.
And Grana did manage to find 2, but sadly for him, only took out 1 when Aussie managed to get that trade. And sadly for them, Vex are going to continue their streak on T side. And it's like you mentioned before, maybe getting 7 rounds as CT would be helpful, but it's looking unlikely at the moment. Maybe if they get this round, then and maybe get the pistol the second half, then it may shape things a bit. But we haven't seen Rawls T side yet, so it's still early days at the moment.
Final round of this first half of our third matchup. Massive upset going on in the second stream as well, as we mentioned earlier. PMC taking down Radix, deducting Radix down to a 0-4 deficit early on into the season. Not a strong start for them. However, what can be a strong start here for Royals is the first frag, the second as well to add to the tally. Make it a hat-trick as well, as it's going to be the orbs and the flashbangs all connecting as one. As the crescendo now for Royals is the 5 versus 1 onto Aussie.
And we spoke about that as well. At least if I don't even take it to 7 rounds, at least get 1 more on the board. So when they do take that pistol on second half, it'll make it feel a little bit comfortable, but again, we haven't seen Royals T side as of yet. We know what Vexed are like. We know they enjoy this map. You spoke up before Vexed because they're a more structured team. There should be a map, wouldn't say dominate, but at least have a considerable advantage. But you've got to remember now as well, I've seen it before, especially from last week's matchup where Vexed were ahead, they're on CT, and then they really struggled to pull any rounds out. But this is a completely different team now. And it's just a matter of whether they can keep that tempo going. I thought they played really well as T. They were 4-1 down at one point, coming back 9-6, which is fantastic by them. And we mentioned a lot about Pickles in the pre-game beforehand, and he's really turning up today.
Well, the match is live, and we are ready for the kickoff of the second half. 9-6.
Mate, still bringing out the stuff.
now I'm always going to be bringing that out. I quite like it. Anyway, what I quite like as well is fast-paced pistol rounds, and we think we're going to be getting
Caster's Curse?
a clash of horns is the saying? I think that's the saying. No, what's the saying? I can't remember the saying. Anyway, we'll talk about that one afterwards. Here comes the action. Take it away.
I was literally trying to think about it from the top of my head.
Lock
I
horns.
literally just could. That's the one. Yeah, you were close. You were close.
It would have made sense.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And Royals went straight out from the B-ups and managed to get a man up. Hype did go jump straight through kitchen, but managed to get a pick of his own. So it's now Aussie all on his own. Still got Kevlar, still got the USP, obviously, and is going to try and get picked from short, but sadly he's now down to 27 HP. Does manage to get angry, but I know exactly where he is. Oh, and manages to catch Hype off guard, so it's the last one, and sadly for him, he doesn't get that final kill, so I'm not going to lie, I was actually quite surprised. When I saw Aussie get that second pick, I was like, okay, this 1v3 could be happening, but...
And I was like, oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's the accent, isn't it?
It is, it is.
Essex?
I would say, yeah, I think it is Essex, because I don't live too far from Essex, and yeah, I hear the accent sometimes, and I think it's best if I just stop there and just not talk about it, in all fairness.
Royals go 1-for-1 now in pistols versus Vexed. We thought for a second that could have been a moment to remember from Aussie. But Grande still delivered the goods, still got them their 7th round here, as it seems likely they are going to get to 8 when we take a look at the 5 versus 2 that's in front of our eyes now. This is all down to truth. Divorce the lies and marry the truth. This unfortunately doesn't go in favour of Vexed as it goes 9-8. And my score prediction of 16-10 has gone out the window now. I think actually Royals might even make this one even closer.
It's quite strange as well, because the last time they played Mirage, speaking of Royals, is they did play Luminary last time and actually lost 4-16 on the exact same map. So it was either Luminary at the time have their number, or Royals have made some drastic changes, or even fact that Vex is more than matchable at the moment. Ang gets 2 kills of his own. Zolkaz managed to get another 2, and just like that, with the free a quick round, but kind of what we expected.
9-9 as we head into the 19th as well. That's quite nice to say.
Yeah, that was quite nice. Well played, mate.
5 M4s once again from Vexed. And 4 rifles backed up by the 1 SMG of Capers for the T's. As they are going to be heading... Oh my god, is he just on a motorbike or something?
He's ice skating, mate. Why not? Bit of a weird start. I'm not gonna lie, but
Admin, he's doing it sideways.
oh, but he strafes out of it and just ruins the fun. That's all right, fair enough, you know. Waste our fun, but I can see now. Auto push up through B-apps. Astro trade off 1. Chief is waiting for someone else, but gets taken down himself by Solkaz. But Quinto managed to get 1, gets a second. 2v2 now, and God, they might be able to get a crucial thing here, but sadly, he's a little bit behind, but Hype is trying to delay as much as he can so he doesn't get involved in any 1v2 situations.
2 versus 2. Aussie on the scene. And of course he delivers the crime. Murder onto Hype. But now, the 1 versus 1. Bomb left in the open. Vanity has to show us his vitality alive to see if he can have the youthfulness to tackle down a player such as Grande. Obviously in rank S, known for his high level of skill, known for his first bullet accuracy. Oh, but it's Vanity that takes it.
Yeah, sadly for him, because he didn't have the bomb. Doesn't matter how much patience you have. Vanity knew that it was just a waiting game of waiting to make that first move. But he wasn't in a great spot as well, but he knew that he had the advantage just due to the fact that he saw then that time was obviously on his hands. But I can see now a few members of Royals will be going round to the B side. You've got one member at A ramp. It's going to cause a distraction at the moment, but as you can see, you still got that two members of A. Got Quicks is rotating round.
Yeah, he is indeed. Obviously, Quicks around the CT side is going to be that rotate player. Usually the AWP up, playing in towards jungle, can rotate towards jungle, kitchen, short as well, everywhere. It's his domain. But Grande with the first frag once again. We saw on the CT side, and of course it carries forward onto the T side. Quicks though, here's the steps towards connector. Bomb as well spotted from the T's. The flashbang's perfect, but they turn the tides of the round in their favor. As it's the 3 versus 3, as they have to still follow their way through connector.
And it seems like now they are trying to see if they can gather any information, but oh, I literally thought Truth had that one, but Angry does manage to take him down. But Vanity Lucky does get the trade, and it seems like they will be going down short to see what's happening. A bit Pickles is literally just waiting for them, managed to get one and managed to get two. So sadly that plan to rotate round, Pickles knew exactly what was up. Exactly what was going on, and 20 and 12 now. And if you look to the other side, Hype still isn't doing too bad with 19 and 12. Grande with 21 and 12. And Capers, as you know, as the IGL, still falling behind a little bit.
11 to 9. As we go into round number 21, Vexed still have the 2-run advantage. Vexed still have the 2-run advantage. Going forward, obviously, the prediction was a 16 to 10. So Royals, if they win one, they're going to be at that level, and any more than that, they're going to be happy with. So Quicks with the FAMAS in towards window. Doesn't have the AWP this time, obviously, the weapon he would much rather have in the long-range duel versus Hype. So, Angry, booted up here towards shop, gets the first frag onto Truth, and now grants Royals the advantage they've been waiting for.
And that man advantage is definitely going to be something at the moment. Royals still waiting quite patiently at the moment, so I can see if they can find anything going on, but Vanity does manage to take one. No, it's up, but Quick's been so patient, managed to take out Capers in the end.
Ooh.
And now it's Vex with the man advantage at the moment.
Angry with 2 in towards jungle. As we see, the 3 versus 2. Man advantage was for Royals, but Aussie in towards stairs, catches Hype off guard. Vanity spots the bomb, has it, almost at arm's reach. But it's Aussie again to just continuously deliver round and frag after frag for Vexed. As he gives Vexed the motivation they need to close this one out. Eco now from Royals. As it's a calamity here for themselves on their T side, as the momentum's gone out their way, the wind's left their sails, the fire's burnt, whatever analogy you want to try and sound clever. All in all, it's not looking good.
I'm a man with a lot of analogies, but definitely not I'm going to say right now at this instance, but you're absolutely right. Royals is on an eco. It's not looking too good for them at the moment. Vex have clearly improved their CT side compared to last week, and Quicks now with that first pick, but Hype and Grande do get 2 of their own.
Oh.
Aussie, nice spray at the moment, gets 3 of his own. And potentially 4 if he finds that last one, but sadly for him, he won't be on B site. Fantastic dig by Grande there, but 1v2, definitely doable considering Aussie is on 2 HP. But if I wanted anyone last man alive from Royals, it would definitely be him.
Or Hype as well would be a good shot.
Of course.
Definitely delivering the numbers. But it's been rather quiet here in the second half. He was the driving force in terms of firepower on their CT side. However, 50 seconds left. Grande in towards connector. Mozzie is onto one shot. One shot with the Deagle would have taken him down. timing wasn't in his favor. Didn't clear his angles, as he must have expected both the players from the CT side to be by the bomb. Not anticipating Ozzy to still be there towards Connector. Definitely caught him off guard as it goes 13-9. Vexed now 3 away from closing this third map out and sending us to map number 4, which is Wind and Rain versus We Hot. That's a great matchup.
Yeah, that would be the most interesting one, considering as well.
The blowout so far, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And remember now, I mentioned it earlier, that Wind and Rain have obviously got another win on the board, beating Luminary. So they're going to be quite happy about that, and also going into this next one. And as you remember as well, We Hot were playing earlier, but I think they did lose to Wolves, if I remember rightly. So they won't be feeling too good about themselves. But as you can see at the moment, they will be taking that bomb around B side, but bomb's still quite far behind the moment, but they managed to get that first pick going onto the site.
Yeah, Royals did beat We Hot earlier. So right now they're going to try and make it 2 for 2. 4 versus 5. Now Vex could definitely save this round. There's no reason to give away your weaponry here. There's no reason to make it worse for yourself. Just cut your losses, throw in the towel, save this round, and then obviously drop over a weapon to Pickles into round number 24. And therefore, going forward, have the better economy. But Vanity, trying to see if he can get some exit frags here onto the tees. It doesn't really go in his favor. As Angry stamps his foot down and takes another weapon out of the hands of Endpoint. Endpoint? My goodness. Vexed.
Got Endpoint on the brain, haven't we?
I've got Endpoint in the DMs, that's why.
Oh, of course, but it is at the moment. Wolves will take this. And Vexed were trying to find some entry frags, but sadly not for them. And it seems like now Royals slowly making that comeback at the moment. It is 13-10 in favour of Vexed. And as you can see now, utility for Vexed, I was going to say not too great. Only for a couple of players though, so it's actually not too bad considering the circumstances last game, but this could be a long one potentially.
Oh, aggression now here from the CTs. They charge up towards middle. 1 for 1 early on, but it's Ozzy. Oh, of course it's Ozzy to decimate the players from Royals. 4 versus 3. Capers, calm and collected as ever, trying his way to walk through the smoke, undetected, to get the entry for his team in towards the B-bomb site. Ooh, they see each other. Pickle's going to be winning that duel. 4 versus 2 now, as it's all down to Grande and all down to Angry in towards the A side, but they have no possession of the bomb.
And they were a man up, but now Grande and Angry do have a fair amount on their plate, but Ozzy's literally just staring that area like a hawk and just waiting for it to come through, but still gets taken down. Fair play to Ozzy, who has such discipline and just sort of getting the bomb, but Truth managed to stop anything that from happening, and now it's just a 1v3 situation and a possible bomb plant if not on top of God, and they do get that bomb plant. So now we've got to see how Vex will take this back.
14-10. Consolation prize is the fact that Royals did get the bomb planted thanks to Grande. Round number 25 then Lethal. And in terms of cash, they can afford the full buy. Grande. 24 frags so far. Cape is 2 for 16. I mean, it seems like Mirage is in his map. He has had some performances last Premiership as well, where he did have, I think it was 4 for 20 in one of those games. Today it's 2 for 16, so an off day for him. Grande, I mean, the jokes were that he's a very big baitive player, someone who goes in last and gets the trade frags, gets the exit frags. And, you know, to some degree that has been true. He's always in last. He's always the one getting the trade kills, so that could be the reason why he's on 24. But then again, his aim is definitely there to be witnessed. So, Royals, they throw their grenades out here, Lethal, to try and force the utility in the hand of Vexed, but they haven't bitten just yet.
And then Royals will be coming straight in, getting that first pick on Vanity. Straight off the bat, but Ozzy just trying to get one of his own. Managed to get one, managed to get two. before he gets taken out and traded by Solkaz. But now it's a 3v2 in favour of Wolves. This is an important round for them to come back and potentially stop an OT from happening. But Pickles is on his own at the moment. There will be a gap on that smoke.
Awful smoke.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking that. But sadly for them, there's absolutely no way with that smoke that he's going to stop that. And if he did it perfectly, it wouldn't have been too bad because you saw both members of Wolves on that CT side. You know, you didn't have one at jungle and one at CT to try and get any kind of crossfire going. Maybe because they didn't have time. I think that they just wanted to, I'd say a little bit more unorthodox, just so that if he did take out one of them, then they wouldn't actually, or Pickles wouldn't actually expect another one to be in the same place and
yeah,
get
the
that
trade frag, exactly. Royals on to 11. As they win the 2 versus 1. This round as well delivering, as it's a 5 versus 3 early doors. As Grande still just delivering dig after dig towards the A-bomb site. Hat-trick of frags and a moment of magic. But Quicks quietly in the rear. Spots out pick. Oh, spots out Dom, but actually loses out that duel. The CZ being nerfed, not quite as strong as it once was.
That's right now, and Pickles is going to try and save that AWP if he can. And Royals will try and hunt him down, at least try and affect Vex's economy as much as they can, but sadly for them, he takes 2 down, which is fair enough, but he does lose the AWP. So Royals, slowly but surely, are making that comeback at the moment. And going to the stats now, Grande, 27 and 17. But if you look on the Vex side now, Pickles is still going 24 and 17. And followed behind Aussie with that 22 and 18 at the moment.
Wow. Vex going to be onto the full eco. Which means this round should go in the favour of Royals. Therefore, we may be witnessing the 13 to 14 scoreline. And especially now as it's all down to Quicks. 1 versus 5. And they know exactly where he is. And of course, Hype secures him. Now only 1 round separates these 2 teams as we head into the 27th. We finally have a competitive game on our hands here, Lethal. Vex 2 away, and Royals are 3 away from stealing it out of the hands of Vex and go 2 for 2 in terms of their wins here. Obviously earlier versus WeHot, now potentially versus Vex as well. And to do that, again, no AWP here from either team. This is something where their styles are seemingly so similar.
Not wrong there at all. And I spoke about before where Royals had a really bad time on this map previously last week, but sometimes it can be a clash of different teams' playstyle, which is perfectly understandable. And angry with that first pick, but luckily Aussie took a bit longer, but managed to trade off that in the end. Vanity is waiting patiently to see if they do try and execute that A site, but again, another member, 2 members of Vex now go down. 2v1 now, Pickles in a 1v2 at the moment. One down, hasn't gone down yet, but sadly for him, does get taken down. So 14 all at the moment. And looking at the economy now, do you feel like Vex will force and try and stop this from going to OT, or do you reckon?
I think it's OT.
Yeah.
100%. For a team like Vex, they're the ones with the experience. They're the ones that won the last best of 3 on LAN. They're the ones that are the team that stayed together with the Premiership. If there's a scenario where they're going to win, it's going to be in overtime where they don't wince under the pressure and where they do perform when it all matters. Ooh, daylight robbery there towards ramp as Vanity picks up the weapon as well from K-Piz. And Pickles finds one for himself as well. Has the chance for Royals for OT as a bare minimum. It's stolen out of their hands.
This is exactly what they needed as well. As soon as Pickles managed to get that second pick, ever since he's had that AK now, he's managed to get a further 2 kills. So we did expect him to potentially for Royals to take this round, but Pickles doing a fantastic job. Getting a couple of digs, getting the AK, but Grande does get 2 of his own, so it's not completely out yet, but you've got to remember now, Snoz, that he's only on 18 HP, but he has got the bomb in hand.
1 versus 2. Grande, once again, last alive. As now he's on 30 frags. And he needs to show us what that firepower looks like, not just on the scoreboard. Is it just exit frags, eco kills, frags that don't really matter too much? Or can he deliver when his team needs it? That's truth. Oh, goes for the peak, into the crosshair perfectly. 4 frags so far for Grande as he needs to make it the ace to be that magical moment here for Royals to pull the rabbit out of the hat.
I'm going to say it now. That discipline, watching mid-window, fantastic.
Oh,
manages to take out Aussie after all that. All I can say now is that Grande's discipline, making sure to see if someone came from that window, is there for at least half a minute to make sure if anyone will pop up to get that first pick to turn it into 1v1, which he did. And they just needed to shoot him anywhere, just the one time to finish it out. But great play by Pickles at the start as well with that D and stopping him from going for B-apt. But Grande definitely been the talk of this game as a whole.
Yeah. Inspiration now for Royals from Grande. An ace that's going to be replayed time and time again in the Premiership as he secured the match point for Royals. Vanity, though, going to be trying to brush that one off of his shoulders and try and see if they can force OT. Gets the... Ooh, there was a tag there onto Soulcast, but it was actually towards middle. So Dom is now low. Angry's taken out of the equation as well. With a minute 15 left on the clock, it seems like we're destined for overtime.
It's starting to look that way any moment, but not going to put him out just yet because you saw what happened before in that last round, and that's a 2v2 situation with Quicks. Trying to get up on CT, but gets taken up by Grande again after Hype. Got another kill of his own, but again, Pickles in that 1v2 situation. Not too much of a bad spot at the moment. Bomb is in mid. But the question is, can Pickles take Vexed into this overtime?
1 versus 2. Hype on a 6 HP. Needs to be traded out by Grande. Once again. This round gets so close. Pickles doesn't hear the footstep, doesn't hear them going towards connector. I think this might be 16 here for Royals. As they have 1 flashbang, 1 HE grenade. Oh, Pickles, if he peeks in towards bench, just might line them both up as he gets the first spray down, but Hype connects it. 16 to 14, it was close but no cigar from Pickles as the timing was near perfection.
He took the words right mouth there, and literally we saw then that Pickles had the opportunity to at least take him down, and sadly the person who was weak